When you hold the #1 market share and there are games releasing almost daily for your console, there are bound to be some that slip through the cracks that people just overlook. So today we are looking at 9 of my favorite hidden gems for the Nintendo Switch. So what qualifies as a hidden gem? See, to me, it's something that people would overlook on the shelf. It's not necessarily a limited run release or something that people are going to be looking at that's some obscure content or anything like that. It's just something that's going to be passed over in favor of games like the Call of Duties, the Marios, or the Zeldas on the shelf. You know, I got to ask this every episode. Have you guys subscribed to the channel yet? If not, which is about 80% of you, you should do so down below. So now, let's dive on in and take a look at 9 hidden gems for the Nintendo Switch. Sparklite is one of those games I picked up on a whim when there was a big used game sale on GameStop.com, and I needed something to kind of push me over the limit to get the free shipping. And I saw Sparklite on there. I was like, well, that's an interesting looking cover, and boy, I hope I actually get something that's halfway decent here. And I am so happy to say that I did. Sparklite is a kind of an action RPG roguelite where you play a character that goes into the world, and the world changes every time, and it's actually explained. It's not just kind of like all of a sudden it's like, oh, everything has changed, boom. No, in this case, there's earthquakes on the Earth, which is why your city is up in the sky. So when you go down to the planet, the things change every time, and there's all kinds of unlockables and all kinds of enemies and stuff like that. It's really neat. The back of the box actually describes it as an action-adventure set in a whimsical and ever-changing land, and that is totally accurate. The game is charming, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and it is a ton of fun to play. It is smartly designed, and there is just enough to keep you coming back time after time due to its roguelite nature. Sparklite is a wonderful title. You know, I always like to say that I am a G.I. Joe mark and not a Transformers mark, but I've got to be honest, when both G.I. Joe Operation Blackout and Transformers Battleground released last year, I was all in on the G.I. Joe game, and it didn't click for me. Like, there's just something about it that doesn't work. But then I saw footage of Transformers Battleground on Twitter, and I kind of had my mind blown by the fact that someone had taken XCOM and smushed it up with Transformers and made a game. And that's what you're getting here. If you have played Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, or any of the old XCOM games on previous generation of consoles, you are going to love Transformers Battleground. It features a full voice cast where every character has a voice as you're playing. Gorgeous animation and character designs from the animated series, and honestly, the game just is a ton of fun to play. I love turn-based strategy games, and I love games that kind of amp up what I don't expect, which is what I get with this game. I didn't think this game was going to be good. It's a licensed title, it's a Transformers title, I'm not a huge Transformers fan, and I just did not expect this to be something that I fell absolutely head over heels in love with, but Transformers Battleground is one hell of a game and an absolute gem to find. Alright, straight up, I love Slay the Spire, and if you watched my appearance on the Immortal John Hancock's channel, you know that this was one of my favorite games and something I suggested for people to pick up if you were looking for a third-party game on the Switch. This is an RPG card battler roguelite. I don't really think there's another way to describe it. You can choose one of 4 separate characters, and each of those characters has a different base deck that you build on. And as you go through the game and you defeat enemies, or you go through different areas of the map that you have encounters on, you'll acquire more cards. Also throughout the game, you're able to upgrade cards, or get rid of cards out of your deck. There's all kinds of things that you're able to do to improve and increase and just further your adventures up the Spire. It's a really fascinating game and something that is just brilliantly designed and a ton of fun to play. I strongly suggest Slay the Spire. Alright, here's another one that appeared on my video with John Hancock, and that is The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. Now, this is the extracurricular edition, and I got this for a Coke and a Song on Amazon. But this is such a wonderful game. If you like the Persona series and you're looking for something that is Persona adjacent on the Switch, and you're waiting for Persona 5 Strikers to come out, Trails of Cold Steel 3 is right up your alley. This involves you being a teacher in a school, you have students that work with you, and you go into RPG combat, and it's all about building relationships and just furthering your adventures as you go and unlocking different conversations and things like that. It's an absolutely brilliant game. I'm really hoping that the first 2 in the series come out on the Switch in the West. I'm pretty sure they've been announced over in Asia. And I know Trails of Cold Steel 4 has been announced for the US because I've already got it pre-ordered and I'm looking forward to playing that as well. But I would love to be able to play the entire adventure of Class 7 and just have a ton of fun with this adventure. It's deep, it's fun, and it's very, very lengthy. It's a great game. If you're looking for good arcade action on the Switch, like classic 1980s, 1990s arcade feel, look no further than Toki. Toki is really neat. So first off, the packaging of the game is fantastic. It shipped with a mini arcade cabinet that you're actually able to put your Switch tablet into and use your Joy-Cons to control the game as you play. Now, this is a remake of a game from back in the 80s or 90s. I can't remember if I originally played it in arcade or on the NES. It might have been on the NES. But this game, oh man, it's so much fun and it's so difficult. Like, it is classic 1980s gameplay here. You play as a caveman that was turned into a monkey and you have to go save your girl. And that's it. You get all kinds of power-ups as you play, different things that you can spit at the enemies to defeat them. It's one hit and you're dead unless you have the football helmet on, which will increase your health. But it's such a great game. It's so hard, it's so much fun, and it's such a great throwback to classic arcade games of the past. Toki is a wonderful pickup. I waffled on picking up this game for a while, but as a huge Star Wars fan, I'm so glad that I finally decided to pull the trigger on it because Star Wars Pinball is absolutely brilliant. This is about the most budget of a budget title as you can get. I regularly see this at Target for like $10 or $20 on sale, and it's fantastic. There are so many different tables to choose from spanning the entirety of the Star Wars saga. I think there's 19 of them. Like, the only thing that isn't included is Knights of the Old Republic, which, you know, it's understandable because that's actually a licensed video game. But it's so awesome. Like, if you want to play a Clone Wars table, go for it. If you want to run Rebels, you can do that too. There's Boba Fett tables. There's Attack of the Clones. There's so many different things, and each table plays uniquely and plays differently from the other ones that are in the game. There's all kinds of different modes in the game as well. So it's not just a single-player experience. You can go up against leaderboards. You can play hot seat mode where you're swapping between you and your other players. And there's all kinds of different high-score challenges in the game as well. It is a fantastic title, it is a ton of fun, and I love Star Wars Pinball. While the Switch has some absolutely fantastic fighting games on it with all the different Street Fighter games that have released on it, there are some spectacular independent fighting games, and I want to feature two of them here back to back. Up first, from Nisalis, is Blade Strangers. Now, Blade Strangers is a really neat game because it features characters from all kinds of different games. Shovel Knight's in here. You have characters from Cave Story, Code of Princess EX, Binding of Isaac, Umihara Kawase. There's so many different characters in this game, and the sprites are massive and look gorgeous. It plays incredibly well. Like, it's so easy for a fighting game to go over the top and crazy, kind of like what happened after Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out, where everything went ridiculously over the top. This one reels everything in and actually plays really conservatively and is so much fun to play because it's an incredibly strategic experience to play Blade Strangers. The game looks great, plays great, sounds great, and honestly is so much fun that it is one of my favorite fighting games on the Switch. Blade Strangers should not be overlooked. My second fighting game on the list is Skullgirls Second Encore, and this is such an awesome game. I played the original Skullgirls back on Steam. This game is one of the most visually startling games you will ever see. Everything in this game is gorgeous. From the loading screens to the character animations to the ultra moves, everything is beautiful. The game features a ton of different characters to play as. There are over-the-top animations, attacks, and experiences as you play, with 14 different characters and a fully voiced story mode. So there's all kinds of stuff that you're able to do in this game and experience. Skullgirls Second Encore is a wonderful release and is a ton of fun to play. And I think the physical release here is actually a GameStop exclusive, so you're going to need to track it down before it disappears, because as we all know, GameStop exclusives don't stick around forever. All right, finally on the list is Forager. And now Forager is, I don't want to say it's a groundbreaking game because there are a ton of independent games that involve crafting, exploring, building, and solving puzzles. And that's kind of what Forager is, but there is something uniquely charming and just wonderfully calming about this game. One of the things I really appreciate about this game that I don't get with a lot of other ones are that the resources respawn almost instantly in this game. So if you chop down a tree, you don't have to wait long for it to come back. There's going to be more trees growing. Now, if you chop down a tree, you might also have some cotton grow, or perhaps some iron ore spawn, so you're able to actually kind of move forward at a pace that works for you. You don't have to just go out and explore this massive world. You are able to move at your pace. And what I mean by that also is that you don't just walk over to the edge and all of a sudden you've got a new map to explore. You actually have to earn the coins to build the map and expand out. There's all kinds of different mechanics in this game and all kinds of different bits of fun you can have. It is a wonderful game. It is a fantastic title, and Forager is something you should absolutely add to your collection. So there you have it, folks. 9 of my favorite hidden gems for the Nintendo Switch. I hope there's some stuff on there that you like. I tried to mix it up a little bit, even though, yeah, we did get 2 fighting games included in there, but I think they're different enough and fun enough that you guys could appreciate them. But now I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite hidden gem is that I should be adding to my collection. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up down below so we can make sure that we are creating the content that you guys are enjoying. And if you have not already done so, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything we've got going on. Until next time, guys, I have been Jay. Remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.